Get ready with me for Christmas Eve. I am hosting again this year, and I am so excited. To think that next year we'll be hosting in our new home is like just even more exciting to think about. To be honest with you, I'm just so stoked to be able to do whatever I want with my home eventually. And we have like vaulted ceilings in the living room in the new house, so I want to get a bigger Christmas tree like on clearance this year. I've been eyeing them. If you guys have suggestions, they are literal vaulted ceilings, probably like 15 foot. So I'm thinking I want like a 9 or 10 foot Christmas tree. I'm just using the CourseRx iPads, and please don't judge my hair, okay? I'm not great at a blowout, but I am getting better every single time. And today I decided to alligator clip my bangs instead of use a roller because I think it's gonna give me a tighter, better hold. And I also don't want to put the Velcro in the blonde, as I'm trying to be as gentle as I can with the blonde, because we did have to lift the bottom more than the top, because when I had my wedding in April, we did put like a demi on it, so it didn't lift as well as like the first 4 inches from root. I'm using the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in chocolate. This is my tried and true. You guys know I love the L'Oreal Faux Brow, but sometimes I just want a really structured brow, and I'll reach for this typically like on the holidays or like a special occasion, just because I've used this for over a decade, and so I feel like I know exactly how my brows are going to turn out every single time. No mistakes with this. We don't have a whole lot of Christmas traditions because growing up, we lived with like different family members, and then there was a period of time where my mom was in prison, so we don't have a whole lot that we stick to or like that we have to do that makes it feel like Christmas. But we do go down to my great-grandma's on Christmas Eve, and that's always really special. On Christmas Day, I'm sorry. And so I host Christmas Eve with my immediate, like, nuclear family, I think is what they call it. I heard someone refer to it as that the other day, and I was like, is that what we're calling it? Is that what that is? Yesterday, my husband had what they call a septumplasty, which is a surgery for a severely deviated septum. I know, he's crazy for having it 2 days before Christmas, but to be fair, that's the way insurance works, and because he's had so many appointments this year trying to figure out what has been going on with him, it made more sense to meet the deductible this year than it did start off the year with a mortgage and a surgery. And so is life. That's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. You don't always get to pick and choose, you know? The American healthcare system, am I right? But either way, he's doing really well. Thank you guys for everyone who was on Instagram and was asking how he was doing. That was like so kind of you guys. It was so sweet. I had so many of you guys reaching out to me, and he's doing really well. And I'm really, really glad. He is kind of happy because he anticipated it to be much, much worse than it is, which I'm glad he did, because of that, by default, he's been in a really good mood because it's not nearly as bad as he thought, and he can breathe out of his nose more than he thought. But what's crazy about this procedure is there's like no visible incision. They like go in and cut along the septum on either side, and then they shove stents up his nose. He has no black eyes. He's barely swollen. You can't even tell. But he has a consistent nosebleed, nonstop. It has not stopped bleeding since we left the hospital yesterday. I don't really know what look I'm gonna do. I also haven't decided what dress I'm gonna wear. I have this blue jean dress and I have this red dress, but whatever I don't wear today, I'll be wearing tomorrow to the other Christmas. And it's really dreary today, but supposed to be sunny tomorrow. So I'm like, which dress would I rather wear? Indoors, like no sunshine. I'm gonna like make a fire and open the windows because it's so warm today. So warm for Christmas. But one of the things I love about our rental right now is that we do have a fireplace, and so to me that feels very Christmassy. My grandpa died in October, and he used to host Christmas Eve for years and years and years and years. They actually did they host last year? I think they did host no, they did not host last year. But either way, he passed away in October. So the point is they've had their house for years, and they have a fireplace in the basement, so to me, I do associate that with Christmas. That was like a tradition, I guess, is going over there. My skin is really so dry. It's going through it with the winter season. I'm gonna prep my eyes with the serum concealer from Tower 28, and I've been recently doing like a smoky brown liner look, and I think I'm gonna do that with like a little bit of maybe Space Cowboy or the Fenty Diamond Bomb, just to add a little bit of sparkle but still keep her pretty neutral. That's just what I'm feeling. That's what I've been into lately, and I can always experiment and play more tomorrow, obviously. I have a lot to do. I'm actually going to start today by going in with a little bit of black right up against the lash line, but a powder so that it blends easier. And then I'm going to use a cream eyeshadow base. That's plenty. I'm gonna use this Made by Mario eyeshadow base in the shade Sienna, and I'm just gonna put 2 little dots to start and go in with a tiny little blending brush and start smudging that along the lash line, but not dragging it into the inner corner because I don't want it too heavy right there. This is warmer than what it's pooling, but because we're mixing that with the black, it's neutralizing it a bit, if that makes sense. So as we blend and it starts to mix with the black, it starts to become more of a neutral based brown. I'm playing around with the idea that next year when we host in our new home, I will do a theme. I'm gonna ask everyone that comes this year, like, do you guys want me to do a theme? And if I do you guys want to vote on it? Or should I just pick it? And the themes are gonna be based around Christmas movies. And I think like it would give me direction, inspire, and like motivate me maybe if they pick it, but also if they don't want to vote, it's fine too. Something else is that I'm bringing out a bunch of games, and I'm just trying to like start new traditions. We really don't have any rules. It's kind of like a free-for-all, and I'm thinking about suggesting the kids opening their presents first and then the adults. There isn't a lot of kids, but then like the kids could play with their toys and be distracted while the adults do their gift exchange. And I don't like the idea of everyone waiting for each person to individually open their gift, but I also don't like the idea that we all just get it, and then sometimes people open gifts that you're really excited for them to open and you don't get to see it happen. So that's my idea, but if you guys have like suggestions on something that works really well for your family, let me know. I'm gonna just clean this up with my concealer brush. I'm gonna go in with a skin-toned kind of colored eyeshadow and just buff the edges of this to make sure it's really, really blended and nice. And then using a little bit of like this skin tone colored shade, I'm just gonna kind of tap that. This also helps with the gradient and make everything look just really, really blended. Then using the lighter shade on my inner corner and my brow bone. I'm gonna use this ultra fine liner to draw a little baby inner corner wing. Sometimes just the smallest bit of definition makes the biggest difference. This is why I don't record Get Ready With Me, is because I record every single little thing and then end up running out of time. Like right now we're at 8 minutes and 45 seconds. I'll probably cut this down, but what the heck. A little bit of the Maybelline Superstay Skin Tint, and by a little bit, I do mean just like a little. I'm kind of just gonna even out my complexion. I don't need a whole lot, especially because my skin is so dry today. I'm gonna use a little bit of the Tower 28 concealer to conceal a little bit more, and then we're gonna go in with a lighter shade under the eye to brighten. I'm gonna use a little cream contour to contour out my nose. A little of that on my cheeks. I'm running out of time, so I'm gonna add concealer, blush, and mascara, but I hope you guys have a great Christmas, and I hope you had a good year. And if you didn't, I really hope this next year is different for you. I know the holidays look a lot different to a lot of different people for so many different reasons, and even if it's Chinese takeout by yourself and your favorite show, know that you write your story and you get to choose what that looks like. I'm gonna do a hair reveal in a different video because I just am. Now I'm off to cook and clean my entire house. But I love you guys. I hope you have a good day, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing. And I will see you guys so soon. And don't forget to enter the giveaway.